Alright, well, I'm back. For the video today, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to actually test something on myself to prove that it's completely harmless. Today, I'll be eating pure gluten. I bought this from a chemistry company last week. It says gluten on there. But yeah, this is pure gluten, 99% pure. See, gluten is just a protein. It's found in bread and it's a storage protein. There's nothing bad about it. I don't see why people are so afraid. You know, they're on the gluten-free diet and gluten-free this and gluten-free beer, and gluten's fine. See, I'll prove it. It smells like bread, like flour, basically. Surprise, surprise. That there is pure gluten, as you can tell. Can't really see, but maybe if I come back a bit, yeah. See, that's what pure gluten looks like. Looks like just brown flour. So, bottoms up. Very dry. Very sticky. Tastes like flour, like bread. But as you can see, I'm fine. There's no problems. Gluten, there's nothing bad about it. So, what is gluten? Gluten, excuse me. Gluten is a storage protein that's found in grass strains of plants. We're talking like wheat, barley, rye. Excuse me. My throat's really dry. So yeah, is it hot in here? Is it just me? No? I don't know why I keep coughing. But gluten is perfectly, it's safe, it's natural, it's perfectly safe to eat. This is for science, just you can do this. Science will, I'm going to throw up. I'm just going to give them a call and make sure this is actually safe to eat. Maybe they got it wrong. Maybe it's not gluten. Maybe it's like arsenic or something. Yeah, hi. I bought pure gluten from your company last week, but I did have a spoonful of it. Is that? Could I have a script, please? Are the walls green to anyone else? Like, this is green, right? I got the script. I'm going to finish the video. I'm going to go to the hospital. Okay, so gluten, as you know, is a storage protein made of gluten, made of prolamine and glutamate amino acids. It's found in wheat and barley and rye grass strains. What else here? Now, obviously, that won't happen if you eat pure gluten. And more importantly, it won't happen to me because I don't have celiac disease. But what if someone with celiac disease were to eat pure gluten? Well, that would be bad. Celiac disease is an autoimmune condition where an individual's body is intolerant of gluten, a protein found in wheat products. As a result, the gluten triggers a response in the body that makes the immune system attack cells that line the intestines. These cells are specifically called enterocytes and are responsible for absorbing nutrients into the bloodstream. Here's how celiac disease works. Once gluten is consumed and in the intestines, it binds to the CXCR3 receptor on the surface of enterocytes. This binding signals the enterocyte cell to release a protein called zonulin, which then binds to receptors on enterocytes. When zonulin binds, it causes the space between the cells to widen. The gluten protein then moves through this opening into the intestinal space behind the enterocytes called the lamina propria. Obviously, gluten isn't supposed to be here, so this causes irritation to the enterocytes, making them release a second protein called interleukin 15, which draws immune cells to the site. Okay, right here is where celiac disease goes from a laughing matter of haha, you can't eat bread to oh wow, that's really bad. Can I make you some hot cocoa? The signaling protein interleukin 15 isn't supposed to be released due to gluten being present. Instead, it only gets released naturally when a cell becomes infected with a virus. Basically, it goes like this. Step 1, virus infects the cell. Step 2, virus multiplies inside the cell. And step 3, virus spreads to the next cell, rinse and repeat. In order to prevent or at least slow down viral infection, infected cells have a built-in mechanism where they release a signaling molecule to alert immune cells to kill them before the virus spreads. But with celiac disease, this precautionary mechanism is broken and is activated by gluten instead. This attack on enterocytes results in abdominal pain, chronic and foul-smelling diarrhea, loss of bone density, and the biggest problem, reduced absorption of nutrients. The role of enterocytes in your intestine is to absorb nutrients from your diet, such as minerals, ions, sugars, amino acids, and vitamins. When the enterocytes become damaged, the villi, which are the rug-like extensions on the surface, become shortened or practically non-existent. This prevents them from absorbing important nutrients. Also, with less absorption, the individual is prone to developing lactose intolerance. Since the lactose sugars in the dairy products aren't being absorbed into the bloodstream, they remain in the gut, where they're metabolized into lactic acid by bacteria in your colon. All of this is the result of wheat flour containing gluten. On average, wheat flour has a gluten content of 13%. What happens when the individual eats 100% gluten? Why is this video so long? Just go to this time if you want to see your question answered. You know, I never understood why people do this. There's a 3-minute long setup prior to the answer for a reason. It's like getting an answer to a math question without doing the work. I mean, how else are you going to learn anything? Hey, wait, weren't you in my chem class in college? Yeah. Did you pass? No, I dropped out of college. Oh. Awkward. So, anyways, this is what happens when someone with celiac disease eats 100% gluten. I live in a van! Well, firstly, with that much gluten exposed to the intestines, all of these symptoms would be drastically increased. The intense inflammation of the gut would completely disrupt normal digestion. Inflammation in your intestines is what causes diarrhea, and with this much gluten and inflammation, everything in your gut would pretty much be nothing but liquid diarrhea. Like the stuff in this blender. Yeah, that's a pretty good visual. Secondly, the inflammation in the gut would be incredibly painful. In fact, there'd be so much inflammation and damage that you may develop ulcers in your intestines. Finally, the degree of the immune response would be detrimental. The amount of signaling proteins, immune cells, and damage to the site could put the body into a state of shock. As a result, there would be massive amounts of histamine released, a drop in blood pressure, as well as tachycardia, dizziness, and fever. The inflammation would be so widespread that neighboring organs may become stressed, causing them to release their own signaling proteins, thereby triggering a domino effect. It's unlikely that the person would die, though it would depend on their present condition. One thing for sure is the intestinal damage would be very severe. And as always, I'd like to take a second to thank my very generous patrons who help support this and future videos. And now for a well-deserved update on the status of my old videos. So as you may or may not know, I had to take down about 95% of my content because it was not fitting into terms of fair use or copyright. And that's my fault. However, as we speak, I am working on the videos right now, and it is taking longer than I expected, so I can't give a date or a timeline of when I'll be posting, but I'll try to post about 2 to 3 per month. And that may go up or down. But more importantly, I'd like to personally thank my patrons, as well as my YouTube subscribers that have stayed with questions for science. Just to have you guys here commenting all the positive thoughts is a big help, and I really need it. A couple of days after I took down my content, I saw that I started to lose some YouTube subscribers, and it was pretty demoralizing. However, it is bittersweet because though I did lose some subscribers, I did gain some patrons. And the patrons are what help fund questions for science and help make better content. So, though I did lose some subscribers, I'll be making better material. And for that, I just want to thank you all so much, both the old and the new patrons. Thank you, Constantino. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Francisco. Thank you, Curza Scott Fan. Thank you, Kiro. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Marcus. And thank you, Shannon. And also to my YouTube subscribers who've stayed with Questions for Science, thank you all so much. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.